Hey guys, it's Bill from OneHappyDiabetic.com. Hope everybody's doing great. I'm not a medical professional, nor will I ever be one, nor will my cat ever be one. Be nice today. But hey, we have a special video today. This video is especially for one of our members named Trevor, who's 15 years old, and is going through some tough times actually with his diabetes. And I think anybody who's had diabetes in the preteens, teens kind of years, I think you'll agree with me, those can be the most difficult. So I'm going to do a little bit of, storytelling and some tips and tricks on things that I did when I was a teenager and maybe some of the things that I should have done looking back, and I hope this video helps you guys. Now, diabetes is something that really nobody wants to deal with, and I think as a kid, I always felt, why me? I mean, why did I get this disease? Why was I the unfortunate one? I wish it was somebody else. Well, you know what? We all can't be that lucky. And the bottom line is this. The most successful people in the world, whether it's dealing with their diabetes, managing their diabetes, successful people at work, successful people at school, it all comes down to one thing. It's not the smartest person in the room that does the best. It's usually the most disciplined person. And that definitely is the case with diabetes. Ask yourself this. How disciplined are you with your diabetes? Are you logging your blood sugars every day? Are you counting your carbs correctly and doing the things that you know you should do? Or are you letting your diabetes take a back seat? Now that's the challenge everybody faces. And that's why with the community that we have here online and on One Happy Diabetic, we're all the same and we've all been through these challenges. We struggle with them every day. And especially being a teenager, I think it's the most difficult time because all you want to do is be an individual, but you also want to be just like everybody else. And whether you've had diabetes since you were 2 years old and you're 15, 16, 17, 18 now, or you just got diagnosed but you're in that teenage years, I think it actually becomes a family issue as well. You know, when I grew up, my mother and my father really helped me with my diabetes. But as I grew up, I knew that I really needed to take control of that. But not only was it hard for me to take care of my own diabetes by myself, it was also hard for my parents to kind of let go and make sure that I was doing things by myself, on my own, and making the right decisions. Now listen, diabetes is something that we have to do and think about every day. It's just like a lot of things that we do every day. You know, you wake up, you take a shower, you wash your hair. You know, I don't want to wash my hair every day, but we have to, kind of. You know what I'm saying? You have to brush your teeth. You have to do these things. And if you have diabetes, you have to do the things that you need to do to keep your blood sugar under control and not get lows and not get highs. And the problem that I think everybody has is no matter how tight you have control of your blood sugar, how disciplined you are, how much you sacrifice, you can still get that slap in the back of the head of an unexpected low, an unexpected high, a blocked tubing in your pump, something that just can drive you crazy and get you frustrated, okay? But that's why we have these great websites and people to talk to, like your family, your friends, your diabetes educators, your doctors, to talk to about some of the problems that you might be having. And so remember, if you have a question, always ask a question, okay? There's people that are on this site and on a lot of the other sites that will definitely help you out. So if you're struggling through something, anybody out there, I definitely encourage you also to comment on this video and ask a question, and hopefully you'll get a good reply. Well, here's a little personal insight of how I dealt with my diabetes when I was 15. Or should I say, didn't deal with my diabetes when I was 15. I didn't test as often as I should and really kind of controlled my blood sugar through really the sports that I was playing, and probably tested my blood sugar less than 3 times a day, which wasn't great. But as far as I was concerned, I didn't have diabetes. It was the last thing on my mind always, pretty much, unless something dramatic happened. And what I mean by that was either probably a low blood sugar or a high blood sugar that I really wasn't aware of back then. I was just more focused on my lows. So I always kept my blood sugars high because the last thing I wanted was a low blood sugar. Now that might seem smart to do, but in actuality, having those elevated blood sugars have hurt me in the long run. There's a couple studies that have been done that show that, or I want to say almost show, the conclusion really hasn't been as definitive as I would hope for, but one of them showed that preteens and teenagers up to 19 years old actually who have poor blood glucose control, it actually can stunt their growth. Now, I don't know if that was my case, but I've been 5'10" since I was in 6th grade, and I was really hoping to be 6'3" or something like that. But it didn't happen to me, and I don't know if it was because of my poorly controlled glucose that I had when I was in middle school and high school, but odds are if I was a betting man, I would put it on it. So Trevor, just one thing of advice for you is that if you're trying to prevent those lows and just be high, have high blood sugars all the time, in the long run, that might not be benefiting you. Here's why. Do you want to get good grades? Do you want to do good, playing sports and doing those types of things? If your diabetes is not in control, you're already at a disadvantage. When you're walking into that classroom and you have a test to take and your blood sugar is 200, 250, or it's 60 or lower, you're at a disadvantage. Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself at a disadvantage already walking through the door, already before you took your test, already before you stepped up to home plate and tried to hit that ball? That was my biggest, I want to say, epiphany that I had. When I had poor blood glucose control, I put myself at a disadvantage, and I told myself I wouldn't do it anymore. Because why would I want to do that? With all the hard work and all the effort that I had put in, why would I let something that I could manage take effect of the outcome that I was trying to do? So why would you want to start the race in last place when you know you could be starting the race in first place? And listen, I think we're all afraid of low blood sugars. I am. I think we all are. So how do we get over that fear and help ourselves? Well, the best way to get over that fear is to always be prepared. I've done a couple videos in the past on how to prepare yourself for diabetes, things that you need to carry and things like that. Listen, every day that you go to school, I'm sure your mother says, hey, do you have your math book with you? Do you have your binder with you? Things like that that are always there so that you're prepared for the day, right? Well, first things first, always make sure that you have some type of glucose. Whether it's a juice box in your bag, whether it's a juice at the nurse, whether it's glucose tablets, always have that as a backup. Now here's a little bit of advice. When I was your age, I didn't test as much as I should. And that was really something that I regret doing. And what I used to always go on was feeling, guessing of what my blood sugar was. And now here's a fact. If your blood sugar is 250 and it's dropping quickly and it drops to 200, you might feel like you're having a low blood sugar. And a lot of people treat that as a low blood sugar. So they treat a 200 as a low blood sugar and then they're back up to 250, 300. And then they crash again back down to 180 or something like that, and it feels like a low blood sugar. So always check if you have any types of symptoms. Think about it. How long does it really take to test your blood sugar? 15 seconds, 30 seconds? It's definitely under a minute. That time is well worth it. Because I just got a phone call, and I got to pick it up. But I'll explain to you why it's worth it in 1 second. Alright guys, well I'm back, and guess who was giving me a call? It's Suzanne. So Suzanne's just going to say hi or something.
Hey everybody, just want to remind you, it's all about your attitude. You can be a happy diabetic every day.
And that is definitely true. So it's definitely all about your attitude, and we'll be back shortly. Well, Trevor, remember this, that diabetes is something that makes you unique. It's kind of like your eye color. Everybody has a different shade. And listen, I think probably the biggest thing that you should know is that you have the support of a huge community behind you. So if you guys want to get in touch with Trevor, comment on this video, or you can send his mom a message on onehappydiabetic.com. Her screen name is Erin, E-R-I-N, and I hope to see you guys there. Everybody have a great weekend, have a great holiday. If I don't see you then, take care, and remember, it's all about your attitude.